What's packing, everybody? Welcome back to the What's Packing Sports Show. I'm your host, Guy Chow, first of his name. And today we're going to be talking about some of the things that Mark Murphy touched on at the shareholders meeting as far as the Packers playing internationally and potentially hosting the draft in 2024, as well as we're going to look at the 2021 schedule. I know we don't have specific dates, but we do have home and away games in the schedule opponents, and I was looking at it, and boy, there's some juicy matchups in store. Before we get to that, though, I do want to say thank you to everybody who has supported me either on Twitch or YouTube or Instagram or anywhere, Twitter. And if you have not done so yet, please hit that subscription button for me and the notification bell. And if you like this, give me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, I did in another video, Mark Murphy, I talked about in another video the comments that Mark Murphy made in regards to why the Packers haven't restructured Aaron Rodgers' deal and the implications that might have on his future in Green Bay. But there were other things that he touched on in his shareholders meeting, like the Packers playing overseas. And if you've been keeping track of the international games, they've actually been very, very successful in Mexico City and in London. And I know the NFL is looking to really grow football to American football to a global game, and the NFL specifically, I know they want teams in other countries and shit like that. So I feel like maybe in the next 10 years, it could possibly happen in the next 10 years. I was just brought to my attention by one of my followers on Twitch that over in Austria and over in Europe, they do have like an American football league, like kind of like almost like a amateur type of league. People, and there's actually a player, one of my followers, he's from Austria, and he said one of his favorite players from like his local team is actually a running back, like a practice squad member on the New York Giants. So the international game is growing, and the Packers are actually the only team in the NFL who have yet to play an international game. And Murphy said that the way that it's set up now is that all basically like the whole division is going to play an international game that year. Whenever, like, so say the Packers play Washington, right? So everybody in the NFC East will play the international game that year, and everybody in the NFC North will play an international game that year. And I think both of those, and they said that every team who plays will have to basically sacrifice a home game in order to play on the road at this neutral site. He also brought up that some of the places that are going to be looked at as sites for the games are Mexico City, which they've played in, London, which they've played in, Berlin, Munich, which are in Germany, which would be great. That'd be dope. Canada, fucking China, I thought it said, like lots of Brazil. So the NFL is about to blow up on a national scale, and I am here for it. Okay, like that'll be dope. I have yet to go to Lambeau Field, but hopefully this year I am gonna go to Lambeau Field. But after going to Lambeau Field, like imagine going to Berlin, Germany, or going to Munich, and it's like playing a fucking going to a Packers game mind blowing. Okay, one of the other things he talked about is the Packers have put in a bid to host the draft in 2024. He said they have to wait another 6 months to get the clarification if they're going to get it or not. But they did make it to the approval. Their proposal that they put together, their media proposal, whatever it was accepted. So they just it's just a waiting game now. 6 months from now, we should know. And I think this is kind of like the gateway drug, if you will, for the Packers to try to lure the NFL to allowing them to host a Super Bowl, which would also be dope. Now, for the last part of the video, I am going to look at the schedule. I'm on fbschedules.com, Green Bay Packers, and it says the 2021 opponents for the Packers are, I'll do the home game first, right? So I'll do the away games first. So we got Arizona, and then Packers are going to also play in Baltimore. Of course, they play in Chicago, in Cincinnati. They play in Detroit, of course. And then we also have, of course, Minnesota, New Orleans, San Francisco, and Kansas City. I mean, that right there, San Francisco, New Orleans, Kansas City, Arizona, Baltimore, Cincinnati. I mean, that's a fucking crazy schedule, man. This is going to be a very, very, very tough schedule this year for the Packers, because that's just the away games. I ain't even do the home games yet. But already you got one playoff team, a fringe playoff team in the Arizona Cardinals. The Vikings were a fringe playoff team. The Bears were a playoff team. I mean, the Saints, a playoff team. The Niners will be a playoff team next year. And the Chiefs, a playoff team. That's 6 matches up against playoff teams just on the road alone. Now, if you take at the home games, we got, okay, of course, we got the division at home. But then we have the Rams, another playoff team at home. Seattle, another playoff team at home. The Browns, another playoff team at home. The Pittsburgh Steelers, another playoff team at home, bruh. And then Washington, another playoff team at home. Like, bruh, this is like, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 10 games out of 17 against playoff teams. And I didn't even include the Vikings in Arizona, who are fringe playoff teams. Okay, like that would make now. And if you count the Bears, that makes 11 games because we played them twice, all right? And so then if you count the Vikings, that's 13, 14 games. And if you count, bro, this is like, who the fuck has a harder schedule than the Packers coming up next year? I don't know. Let me know what teams and games you're looking forward to. I was honestly looking at this, maybe going to the Ravens game because I live in Maryland. So that would be like, I can go to the Ravens game. I can go to the Washington game. You know, I've been there before. Oh no, Washington's at home. Washington's away. And if I'm going to Lambeau, obviously I'm looking at the Pittsburgh game, the Cleveland game, or the Seattle game, or even the Rams, bro. Like Rams, Seattle, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. I feel like those the Rams would just be a good game. But Seattle, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh, those are some of the most diehard rabid fan bases on the face of this earth. And just imagine Packers and Steelers fans, or Packers and Browns fans, Packers and Seahawks, like the rivalry rekindles. So I'm excited about this season. Those are some of the matchups that I'm looking at closely. I want to know what matchups you guys are looking at, how you feel about playing the overseas schedule, and where would you most like to want to see the Packers play overseas. And then anything else you guys want to say about the show, leave a comment in the section below and let your boy know. Once again, it's Guy Chow, first of his name, for the What's Packin' Sports Show, man. Thank you guys for joining me. And until next time, like I always say, go Pack, go. Remember, the Bears still suck. Peace.
Puda, you the GOAT, boy.